Have you ever noticed that the loudest people in the room aren't always the most successful? In fact, some of the most powerful individuals in history built empires, changed lives, and transformed the world, all in silence. Today, I'm going to show you why working quietly, away from the eyes of the world, is the single most powerful strategy for achieving massive success, and why by the end of this speech, you'll never feel the need to prove yourself to anyone again. Too often, we measure progress by how loudly we announce it to the world. Social media, conversations, even casual bragging can make us feel like if no one sees it, it didn't happen. But the truth is, the loudest announcements rarely equal the greatest achievements. Real growth, the kind that transforms your life, the kind that builds unshakable strength, happens in silence. Every great skill, every life-changing habit, every breakthrough starts in moments where no one is watching. It begins in quiet determination. Working in silence is not about hiding your effort, it's about protecting it. When you focus your energy inward, you eliminate distractions that come from seeking approval or recognition. You no longer waste time defending your progress to critics or doubters. Instead, every ounce of effort goes directly into building your skill, your character, and your resilience. The person who works quietly is free to experiment, to fail, and to try again without fear of embarrassment. This freedom, this invisible space where you refine yourself, is where true strength is forged. Strength built in silence is lasting. Noise can give temporary confidence, but it cannot create skill, discipline, or mastery. Think about the people you admire, those who achieved incredible success. Most of them spent years unseen, unnoticed, quietly honing their craft. Their work wasn't flashy. Their results weren't immediate. But over time, their consistent, silent effort became unstoppable. Every setback they faced, every challenge they encountered, they overcame privately, in their own space, without needing anyone's applause. When you work in silence, you also develop an inner authority. You start measuring progress by personal standards, not by how the world reacts. Your growth becomes independent of external approval. And when your results finally emerge, they carry a power that words could never match. People are drawn to excellence naturally. They recognize achievement. They notice the difference between someone who talks a lot and someone who quietly delivers. So, if you want to build real strength, if you want to create a life that commands respect and admiration, start today by doing the work that no one sees. Focus on your habits, your skills, and your vision. Embrace the silence. Let your effort be invisible, but let your results be undeniable. Because the strongest trees grow quietly, unseen, before they rise and cast their shade across the world. One of the biggest traps that hold people back from reaching their true potential is the constant need for approval. From a young age, we are conditioned to seek validation from parents, teachers, peers, or society at large. Did I do well enough? Do they like me? Am I impressive? These questions slowly become habits that determine not only our actions, but also our sense of worth. The danger is that when your motivation comes from others, your progress depends on their opinions, and opinions are unpredictable, fleeting, and often misguided. Avoiding external validation doesn't mean rejecting feedback or isolating yourself from the world. It means shifting your focus from impressing others to improving yourself. When your energy is spent trying to gain applause, likes, or recognition, it distracts you from the work that truly matters. True growth is measured not by what others see or say, but by the skills, knowledge, and character you develop quietly. The more you rely on validation, the more fragile your confidence becomes. One negative comment can derail months of effort. One overlooked achievement can make you question your worth. But when your motivation comes from within, your sense of progress is unshakable. Think about the people who achieve greatness. They are rarely the ones constantly announcing their every move or seeking approval from everyone around them. Instead, they measure themselves against their own potential, their own standards, and their own vision. They embrace the discomfort of working alone, of taking steps forward without applause, knowing that the work itself is the reward. They do not need a crowd to witness their dedication because they understand that recognition always follows genuine results. Avoiding external validation also builds resilience. When your worth is not tied to what others think, you are free to fail, learn, and grow without fear. You can take bold actions, pursue difficult goals, and step into uncharted territory without hesitation. You stop being controlled by the approval of others and start being driven by purpose, passion, and commitment. The moment you stop asking for permission to be great, the moment you stop needing someone else to approve your dreams, you unlock a level of freedom that allows you to focus entirely on what matters. Your energy becomes unstoppable, your actions intentional, and your results inevitable. Remember, people may not notice your effort, but your life will reflect your excellence. And that is the validation that truly counts. Patience is often underestimated in a world that glorifies speed, instant gratification, and immediate results. We live in a society where waiting feels uncomfortable, where success is measured by how quickly it happens, and where we are constantly bombarded by stories of overnight achievements. But the truth is, the most powerful, lasting successes are never instant. They are built over time, quietly, deliberately, and patiently. Patience is not just a virtue. It is a superpower that separates those who achieve greatness from those who settle for mediocrity. The journey to meaningful success is never a straight line. There will be obstacles, delays, failures, and setbacks. Without patience, it is easy to become frustrated, to give up, or to abandon the path entirely. But those who embrace patience understand that every challenge is part of the process, every delay is an opportunity to learn, and every failure is a step closer to mastery. Patience allows you to stay committed to your vision, even when results are not immediate. It allows you to invest in yourself, develop your skills, and strengthen your character without needing instant recognition. Think about the most accomplished people in history. Their achievements were not the result of rushing or shortcuts. They were the product of years, sometimes decades, of consistent effort. They understood that the foundation of success is built slowly, silently, and steadily. The person who rushes may reach a temporary peak, but without patience, the peak is fragile and short-lived. Patience, on the other hand, creates depth, resilience, and sustainability. Patience also gives you the clarity to focus on what truly matters. When you are not obsessed with immediate results, you can dedicate your energy to mastering your craft, nurturing your habits, and making decisions that align with your long-term goals. You learn to trust the process, to embrace the unseen work, and to let time amplify the value of your efforts. In a world that demands speed, those who practice patience stand out. They are unshaken by temporary setbacks, undistracted by the noise of others' success, and unstoppable in the pursuit of their vision. Every moment of waiting, every ounce of persistence, and every silent effort compounds over time into a life of achievement and fulfillment. Patience is not passive. It is the active choice to trust yourself, your work, and your journey. It is the superpower that allows you to endure, grow, and ultimately triumph when others give up. One of the biggest mistakes people make in their pursuit of success is confusing attention with achievement. In today's world, it's easy to believe that the louder you are, the more successful you must be. Social media, public recognition, and constant notifications have conditioned us to think that visibility equals value. But the truth is, attention is fleeting, shallow, and often meaningless. Real success is not measured by the applause of the crowd. It is measured by mastery. True mastery comes from consistent effort, deep focus, and the relentless pursuit of excellence, regardless of whether anyone is watching. When you focus on mastery rather than attention, you shift your energy from impressing others to improving yourself. You stop wasting time on distractions that do not serve your growth and instead dedicate yourself to the process of becoming truly exceptional at what you do. Mastery requires patience, discipline, and countless hours of practice, study, and reflection. It requires the humility to start at the bottom, the persistence to endure failures, and the courage to continue even when no one is cheering for you. Mastery is quiet work. It doesn't announce itself with loud claims or flashy displays, but its results are undeniable. The world is full of people chasing attention, those who want recognition, likes, or applause before they have earned it. They are focused on what others think of them, on how their actions appear, rather than on the substance of their work. Meanwhile, the person who focuses on mastery is building a foundation that is unshakable. They understand that attention may come eventually, but only as a byproduct of skill, dedication, and excellence. People will notice real achievement, and when they do, the recognition is meaningful and lasting. Mastery also builds confidence from within. When you know that your skills, knowledge, and abilities are exceptional, you no longer need external validation to feel worthy. You carry a quiet authority that comes from competence, not from applause. You become someone who others respect not because you demand it, but because your results speak for themselves. This is the difference between temporary popularity and enduring influence. The difference between appearing successful and actually being successful. Focusing on mastery also allows you to embrace challenges rather than avoid them. Those who chase attention often fear failure because failure exposes them in public. But those who pursue mastery see failure as part of the learning process, as a necessary step toward excellence. They experiment, take risks, and push boundaries, knowing that growth comes from experience, not from approval. Every mistake becomes a teacher, every obstacle becomes an opportunity, and every quiet effort compounds into skill and strength that cannot be taken away. Another critical aspect of focusing on mastery is the ability to remain undistracted by comparison. When your goal is attention, you constantly measure yourself against others, and every success of someone else can feel like a threat. But when your goal is mastery, your focus is on your own journey. You measure yourself against your own potential, your own standards, and your own vision. You are no longer a prisoner of other people's timelines, and your growth becomes exponential because it is driven by purpose, not competition. Ultimately, mastery is the silent engine of remarkable achievement. While others waste energy on getting noticed, you are quietly building skills, knowledge, and habits that will produce results far greater than any temporary spotlight. People may not see your effort at first, but when your work manifests into excellence, influence, or success, it speaks louder than any words ever could. If you want to leave a legacy, if you want to create impact that lasts, focus on mastery, not attention. Dedicate yourself to the work that matters, even when no one is watching. Invest in your skills, your knowledge, and your character. And remember, those who chase attention may be loud today, but those who pursue mastery will be remembered forever. Excellence has a way of making itself known, without hype, without noise, and without apology. One of the most silent but destructive habits in the pursuit of success is comparing yourself to others. Comparison is deceptively natural. We see what others have, what they achieve, and how they present themselves to the world, and we begin to measure our worth against it. Social media, conversations, and even casual interactions constantly bombard us with other people's highlights, their achievements, and their successes. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I should be there already, or why am I not as successful as them? But this kind of comparison is dangerous because it pulls you away from your own journey and blinds you to your unique path. The truth is, every person's journey is different. No two paths are identical, no two struggles are the same, and no two victories come at the same time. When you compare yourself to someone else, you are measuring your progress against a reality you do not fully see. You are comparing your beginning to someone else's middle or end. What you see on the surface, the awards, the recognition, the posts online, is only the visible part of someone's journey. You cannot see the struggles, the sacrifices, or the countless hours of preparation that brought them to where they are. And yet, when we compare, we let ourselves feel inadequate, impatient, and unworthy. Comparison is dangerous because it creates a cycle of distraction and discouragement. It diverts your energy from building yourself into the person you are capable of becoming, and instead focuses it on measuring yourself against someone else. You become consumed by envy, fear, and insecurity, and your motivation shifts from self-improvement to a desire to catch up or outperform others. This is a recipe for frustration and failure because it forces you to live someone else's life rather than pursuing your own vision and purpose. The key to breaking free from this trap is to focus entirely on your own growth, progress, and potential. Understand that the only comparison that matters is between who you are today and who you were yesterday. Every step forward, every small improvement, every lesson learned is a victory that no one else can take away. When you invest your energy in yourself rather than in measuring yourself against others, you become unstoppable. You develop resilience, patience, and self-confidence. You start to trust your own journey and embrace your unique timing. Another danger of public comparison is that it can lead to premature exposure and unnecessary criticism. When you constantly compare and announce your progress, or worse, try to emulate others, you invite judgment, scrutiny, and pressure. You become dependent on external approval, and your growth becomes fragile based on the opinions of those who may not even understand your vision. Silence, on the other hand, protects your progress. It allows you to build in peace, to experiment, to fail, and to grow without distraction. Finally, breaking free from comparison allows you to appreciate the beauty of your own path. It allows you to celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, and to remain focused on long-term goals rather than short-term recognition. You learn that success is not a race, it is a journey, and the pace does not matter as long as you are moving forward. You become empowered by the realization that your life, your work, and your potential are unique, and they cannot be replicated. So stop measuring yourself against what others are doing, stop letting their journeys dictate your self-worth, and start focusing on your own growth. The moment you do, you will find freedom, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Remember, comparison may be tempting, but it is the enemy of progress. True success comes to those who focus on themselves, their goals, and their journey, and let others follow their own path. Too often, people talk about what they are going to do, what they plan to achieve, or how great they are going to become. But their words are empty because they are not backed by action. Promises, statements, and declarations can sound impressive, but they hold no real power until they are proven through results. Words alone may earn attention for a moment, but results are what leave a lasting impact. The world does not reward intentions, it rewards execution, consistency, and tangible outcomes. If you want to stand out, if you want to earn respect, influence, and success, your results must speak louder than any claim you make. When you focus on producing results instead of announcing them, you protect your energy and focus. Talking about your goals may feel productive, but it often distracts from the actual work required to achieve them. Every hour spent explaining what you will do is an hour that could have been used to do it. Every post, every boast, and every claim is wasted energy if it does not lead to measurable progress. The person who works silently, delivers consistently, and lets results show naturally becomes credible, trustworthy, and respected. People begin to notice because there is undeniable proof of their effort and skill, not just promises. Results also serve as the most persuasive form of communication. You could speak endlessly about your talents, your vision, or your plans, but until you produce tangible evidence, your words are just noise. Success, achievement, and excellence speak for themselves. When you create, build, or accomplish something meaningful, the world cannot ignore it. Results transcend opinion, skepticism, and criticism. They are concrete, undeniable, and influential. A quiet achiever often earns far more respect than someone who constantly boasts, because the impact of their work cannot be debated. Focusing on results also builds confidence and credibility. When your actions align with your words, your value is proven. You develop an internal authority that comes from competence rather than appearance. People are naturally drawn to those who produce results because they offer proof, not just promises. And the beauty of this is that results create momentum. One success leads to another, one accomplishment opens doors to new opportunities, and before long, your quiet efforts accumulate into life-changing outcomes. Another key aspect is that results protect you from disappointment. When your focus is on talking, you become vulnerable to judgment and criticism. People may question your ability, mock your intentions, or doubt your potential. But when your focus is on action, the results themselves serve as the ultimate shield. Nothing can undermine a person who delivers consistently. Actions create respect, trust, and lasting influence in a way words never can. Finally, when you allow your results to speak, you inspire others without needing to demand attention. The world respects people who achieve, who innovate, and who persevere in silence. You do not need approval to validate your journey. Your results provide the proof, the legacy, and the authority that words alone cannot. If you want to create a life of impact, influence, and lasting success, focus less on talking about what you will do and more on doing it. Let your results shout for you, because action is louder than words, and excellence cannot be ignored. There is a power in invisible work that few people truly understand. While the world celebrates instant success, flashy achievements, and visible accomplishments, the quiet, unseen work that happens behind the scenes is what truly shapes a person's life. Discipline in invisible work is the foundation of mastery, resilience, and long-term success. It is the choice to do the things that nobody is watching, the small actions that accumulate over time, and the consistent effort that builds strength, skill, and character without recognition or applause. Invisible work requires a level of commitment and focus that most people are unwilling to embrace. It means waking up early to practice when others are still sleeping. It means studying, reflecting, and preparing when there are no rewards in sight. It means doing the hard work that feels repetitive, mundane, or thankless, simply because you know it will pay off in the future. The discipline to continue in silence is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, the temporary from the lasting. Those who seek attention too early, or who rely on immediate validation, often abandon their work before it has time to bear fruit. The person who masters invisible work understands that success is never rushed. It is carefully built, brick by brick, habit by habit. One of the most remarkable aspects of invisible work is that it builds inner strength and self-reliance. When you commit to improving yourself quietly, you no longer depend on external motivation or validation. You learn to trust your own process, to find satisfaction in effort rather than applause, and to stay consistent even when the world does not notice. This internal discipline becomes a superpower. It allows you to persist through challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt because your commitment is rooted in purpose, not popularity. Invisible work also has a compounding effect. Every small action you take quietly, whether it's practicing a skill, learning something new, or strengthening your habits, adds up over time. The results may not be visible today, but tomorrow, next month, and next year, they will emerge as undeniable proof of your effort. The people who achieve remarkable success often look ordinary in the beginning because their work is unseen. They do not make a show of their progress, but their dedication quietly positions them for exponential growth and life-changing outcomes. Another critical aspect of invisible work is the ability to embrace patience and resilience. When you work in silence, you become comfortable with delayed results. You understand that greatness requires endurance, and that every small step forward, every failure, and every repetition is part of the journey. You learn to persevere without needing recognition because your focus is on growth, not applause. Ultimately, the discipline of invisible work is about creating a life of substance rather than spectacle. It is about doing the hard things consistently, even when no one is watching, knowing that your results will eventually speak for themselves. Those who embrace this discipline become unstoppable because they have built strength, skill, and character that cannot be taken away or imitated. If you want lasting success, start today by committing to the invisible work. The quiet, consistent effort that transforms potential into achievement, dreams into reality, and ordinary individuals into extraordinary people. There is a profound power in quiet effort, a power that is often overlooked because it is subtle, patient, and invisible to the casual observer. Many people believe that success requires loud announcements, constant updates, or public displays of hard work. They think that unless everyone sees their effort, it has no value. But the truth is that quiet, consistent effort is the engine that drives extraordinary results. When you dedicate yourself to your work without seeking attention, every small action compounds over time, eventually transforming into massive impact. Impact that can change your life, the lives of others, and even the course of history. The key to turning quiet effort into massive impact is consistency. Small, deliberate actions performed day after day may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they accumulate like drops of water carving through stone. Every hour spent learning, practicing, refining your skills, and improving yourself quietly adds up. Every challenge faced, every failure endured, and every repetition mastered contributes to a foundation that is unshakable. The world rarely notices these small, invisible efforts at first, but their power lies precisely in this quiet accumulation. When the results finally emerge, they are unstoppable, undeniable, and life-changing. Quiet effort also develops a unique kind of resilience. When you are not constantly seeking approval or recognition, you are free to experiment, make mistakes, and learn from them without fear. You are not controlled by the expectations of others or distracted by external validation. This freedom allows you to take risks that others are unwilling to take, to explore new paths, and to persist through setbacks that would discourage someone seeking instant attention. Every silent victory, every hidden lesson, strengthens your ability to achieve long-term impact. Another essential aspect of transforming quiet effort into massive impact is patience. The greatest accomplishments in life rarely happen overnight. Every groundbreaking innovation, every remarkable career, and every extraordinary achievement began with countless hours of unseen, quiet work. The person who understands this truth embraces the process and trusts that the results will follow naturally. They do not become discouraged by a lack of immediate recognition, because they know the value of consistent effort and the exponential power of compounded work. Impact is also amplified when effort is intentional. Quiet work without direction produces little more than activity. But when your efforts are focused on meaningful goals, guided by vision and aligned with purpose, the results are multiplied. Your small actions begin to ripple outward, influencing people, creating opportunities, and producing outcomes far greater than what seemed possible in the moment. What begins as quiet, disciplined work can grow into influence, leadership, and legacy that touches countless lives. Finally, quiet effort produces a sense of fulfillment that attention and praise can never provide. When you know that your growth, your skill, and your achievements are the result of your own discipline and focus, you experience a deep, unshakable confidence. You no longer need the world to acknowledge you immediately because the impact of your work is self-evident. Your life becomes a testament to the power of dedication, patience, and perseverance. In the end, massive impact is not born from noise, flashy announcements, or constant approval. It is born from the quiet, consistent effort of those willing to do the work when no one is watching. If you commit to building in silence, focusing on purpose, and trusting the process, your life will eventually speak volumes. The results of your dedication will be undeniable, your influence will be far-reaching,